Hello students, we will start the chapter number 5, the fundamental unit of life in class 9, science. So in this chapter, we discuss about the cell. The body of all organisms is made up of tiny microscopic units called cell. The cell is a fundamental, structural and functional unit of living organisms and basic unit of life. All living organisms are made up of cells. Cells make tissues, tissues together make organs make organ system, and organ systems make body of organisms. So, cell is called structure unit of life. All the basic functions of the body like respiration, excretion, etc. are carried out by cell through its cell organelles. So, cell is called functional unit of life. Cell biology is the study of cells in all aspects of structure and function. So here cell is the Latin word and it is the meaning of a little room, and the use of the word cell to describe these units is used till this day in a biology. Now next topic, discovery of cell. Cell was first discovered by Robert Hooke in 1665. He observed the cell in core slice with the help of primitive microscope. Anton von Leeuwenhoek 1674 was the first to observe free cells like bacteria, protozoa, red blood cell and sperms in his homemade microscope. The cell theory. The cell theory that all the plants and animals are composed of cells and that the cell is basic unit of life was presented by two biologists, that is M. Squaldian 1838 and T. Squavan 1839. The cell theory was further expanded by the German physiologist Rudolf Virchow 1855. He gave the phrase omnis cellula e cellula, that is all cells arises from the pre-existing cells. Modified cell theory is termed as cell principle or modern cell theory, which postulates that all living organisms are composed of cells or cell products. All living cells arise from pre-existing cells. All cells are basically like a chemical composition and metallic processes. Now next is we discuss about the cell shape. The shape of cells is related to the specific function they perform. Some cells like amoeba and white blood cells, that is WBCs, have changing shapes. In some cases, the cell shape could be more or less fixed and peculiar for particular type of cell. For example, nerve cell have a typical shape. Now cell size. The size of cell also varies considerably in different animals and plants. The average cell size varies from 0.5 to 20 micron, that is micrometer. In human body, the smallest cell is RBC, that is red blood cell, and longest one is the nerve cell. Now cell number. The number of cells in living beings differs from the one in unicellular organisms to many in multicellular forms. The number of cells is not definite in multicellular organisms and may increase along with the growth and volume of organisms. Here we divide the cell two type of cells. that is prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cells. In prokaryotic cells, it is unicellular. For example, bacteria and blue-green algae, it is a prokaryotic cells. While in eukaryotic cell, there are unicellular and multicellular cells. In unicellular cells, that is amoeba. Amoeba is a unicellular organism. While multicellular, that is plant cell and animal cell, both are multicellular organisms. So we can observe that there is a difference between the eukaryotic, eukaryote and prokaryote. So in a eukaryote that we obtain, that is nuclear center, that is nucleus, mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes, we can be observed. While in prokaryotic, the center portion, that is nucleoid, that is hold in capsules, and that is a flagellum, cell wall, cell membranes, ribosomes, we can be observed. So these are the difference between the prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell. So in prokaryotic cell, first difference is primitive and incomplete cell, while in eukaryotic cell it is advanced and complete cell. Prokaryotics are always unicellular organism, while in eukaryotic cell it is unicellular or multicellular organism. Prokaryotic cell, its nucleus is not well defined and not known as nucleoid, while in eukaryotic cell well defined nucleus is present. Prokaryotic cell, that is membrane and bound organelles such as mitochondria, Golgi complex, etc. are absent, while in eukaryotic membrane bound organelles such as mitochondria, Golgi complex, etc. are also present. In prokaryotic cell, ribosomes are smaller and scattered randomly in the cytoplasm, while in eukaryotic cell, ribosomes are bigger. They are either attached to endoplasmic reticulum or are found free. Now we can observe the structure of plant cell and animal cell. It is multicellular organisms. Here we can be observed that the structure of the cell is from three major parts: plasma membranes or cell membranes, cytoplasm, and it contains nucleus. First we take plasma membrane, that is cell membrane. It is also known as cell membrane. So you can be observed that cell structure of the plasma membranes. Plasma membrane is the outermost covering of the cell that separates the contents of the cell from its external environment. Plasma membranes is living, thin, delicate, elastic, selectively permeable membranes. The plasma membranes is flexible and made up of organic molecules called lipids and proteins. Now we discuss about the function. Plasma membranes permits the entry and exit of some materials in the cell. It also prevents movement of some other material. Therefore, the plasma membrane is called selectively permeable membrane. Substance can pass across membrane by two processes: diffusion and osmosis. Diffusion: some substance like carbon dioxide or oxygen can move across the cell membrane by the process, and this process is called diffusion process. So diffusion is the spontaneous movement of molecules from region of its higher concentration to a region of its lower concentration, and it is known as the diffusion. For example, movement of carbon dioxide and oxygen during respiration in organisms. Now we discuss about the osmosis. The movement of water molecules through are selectively permeable membranes from region of higher water concentration to a region of lower water concentration is called osmosis. So let's see will happen if you put an animal cell or plant cell into solution of sugar or salt prepared in water. If the medium of surrounding the cell has higher water concentration than the cell, that is, if solution is a very diluted solution, the cell will gain water by osmosis, and such a dilute solution is known as hypotonic solution. Water molecule will pass across the plasma membrane in both directions, but more water molecule will enter the cell than will. The cell will therefore swell up and increase in volume, and this process is called endosmosis. It is known as endosmosis. If the medium surrounding the cell is exactly the same water concentration as the cell, there will be no net movement of water across the plasma membrane, resulting in no change in the size of the cell. Such a solution is called isotonic solution. And if the medium has lower concentration of water than the cell, that is, if it is very concentration solution, the cell will lose water by osmosis, and such a concentrated solution is called hypertonic solution. In this case too, water crosses the plasma membrane in both the directions, but this time more water leaves the cell than enter in. The cell will therefore shrink and reduce in volume. This process is called osmosis. So you can be observed the cell wall, the outer wall, that is boundary. It is a cell wall. Okay, cell membrane, nucleus, cytoplasm, and vacuole we can be observed in this structure. So cell wall, in plant cell there occurs a rigid cell wall which lies outside the plasma membrane. Cell wall is thick, non-living and permeable, covering made up of cellulose. Cellulose is kind of carbohydrate and it provides structural strength to the plant. Now discuss about the function of cell wall. Cell wall protects cell membrane and the internal structure of the cell wall. It provides rigidity and determines the shape of the plant cell. It prevents drying of the cell and helps it to bear unfavorable conditions. It provides mechanical strength to the plant cell. Now nucleus, the center portion of the cell, it is known as the nucleus. The nucleus is a major centrally located spherical cellular component. It is the center from where all cellular activities are controlled. It is the carrier of hereditary material in the cell. It is bounded by two membranes, both forming a nuclear envelope. The nuclear envelope contains many pores known as nuclear pores and encloses the liquid ground substance. The nucleoplasm. The nuclear pores allows transfer of materials between the nucleoplasm and the cytoplasm. Within nucleoplasm are embedded two types of nuclear structures, nucleus and chromatin material. The nucleus may be one or more in number and is not bounded by any membrane. Nucleus consists of DNA, RNA and protein. It is the site of ribosomes formation. Nucleus is known as factory of ribosomes. The chromatin is thin, thread-like intermingled masses of chromosome material and composed of the genetic substance DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, full form of DNA, and protein, that is histones. DNA stores all the information necessary for the cell to function, that is metabolism, to grow and to reproduce further cells for the next generation. The chromatin is condensed into two or more thick ribbon-like chromosomes during the division of cell. Functional segments of DNA are called genes. Genes carry information for protein synthesis, which in turn control the development of characters. Since genes are present on chromosomes and chromosome passes from one generation to the next through, genes are called hereditary units. The nucleus controls all metabolic activities of the cell. If the cell is removed from the cell, the protoplasm ultimately dries up and dies. It regulates the cell cycle. It is the storehouse of genes which are concerned with the development and manifestation of all the body characters. Nucleus helps in the formation of ribosomes and RNA. It helps in the transmission of characters from one generation to the next generation. Now that is protoplasm and cytoplasm. So center portion we can be observed, that is a nucleus, and around it cytoplasm we can be observed, and both cytoplasm and nucleus, it is known as the protoplasm. So all cell contains living substance called protoplasm. It is jelly-like, viscous, colorless, semi-fluid substance in which various cell organelles and inclusion remains in colloidal form. Protoplasm can be distinguished in two forms. Cytoplasm, it is that part of protoplasm which surrounds the nucleus. Nucleoplasm, it is the part of protoplasm which is located inside the nucleus. So protoplasm, it is nothing but the summation of cytoplasm and nucleoplasm. The part of the cell which occurs between the plasma membrane and nucleus envelope is called the cytoplasm. Cytoplasm consists of an unique ground substance, the cytosol, containing a variety of cell organelles and other inclusions such as insoluble waste and storage product, that is starch, lipids, etc. Chemically, cytoplasm contains about 90% water, 7% protein, 2% carbohydrates, 1 and lipids, and 1% inorganic minerals, vitamins, etc. A cell has to perform different functions with the help of its various membrane-bound cell organelles. Cell organelles are small organs of the cell and are found embedded in the cytosol. They form living part of the cell, and each of them has definite shape, structure and function. Here we can observe, that is endoplasmic reticulum. So small, that is you can be observed clearly, endoplasmic reticulum. So endoplasmic reticulum, it is absent in prokaryotic cell and mature RBC of mammals. Endoplasmic reticulum occurs in three forms: cistern, that is closed fluid-filled sacs, vesicles and tubules. ER is two types, that is one rough endoplasmic reticulum, that is RER, rough endoplasmic reticulum with ribosomes attached on its surface. And second one, SER, that is smooth endoplasmic reticulum, which is without ribosome. It forms intracellular transporting system. SCR takes part in the synthesis of the lipids. RER is concerned with the transport of proteins which are synthesized by ribosomes on their surface. It forms intracellular transporting system. SCR takes part in the synthesis of lipids. RER is concerned with the transport of proteins which are synthesized by the ribosomes on their surface. Now it is the Golgi apparatus. So cis space we can be observed, that is a cisterns, that is incoming transport vesicle, lumen, that is secretory, that is vesicle, transspace, newly forming vesicles, we can be observed all this in Golgi apparatus. Golgi complex was discovered by Camillo Golgi. It occurs in almost all eukaryotic cells. It is not found in prokaryotic cell. Golgi apparatus consists of set of membrane bounded fluid filled vesicles, vacuoles and flatted cistern. It is known as packaging and dispatching unit of the cell. It is involved in the synthesis of cell wall, plasma membrane and lysosomes. It is involved in the formation of cell plate during cell division. Next one is lysosomes. So in lysosomes, we can be observed that is small blue dotted, it is of proteins, and center portion we can be observed as enzyme complex, and yellow portion that is greenish color, that is a phospholipid bilayer we can be observed in lysosomes. So lysosomes are dark spherical single membrane bound sacs containing several digestive enzymes. These enzymes are capable of digesting or breaking down all organic materials. Lysosomes are found by Golgi complex. They are found in the cytoplasm of eukaryotic cell. Mostly it can be found in animal cells. Lysosomes are involved in intracellular digestion. During starvation or aging, the cell digests its own organelles through lysosomal enzymes, a process called autophagy. Lysosomes helps to keep the cell clean by digesting any foreign material as well as worn out cell organelles. When a cell is destined to die, the lysosomal enzyme digests the whole cell, a process called autolysis. Therefore, lysosomes are also known as suicide bags of the cell. Now, it can be that is it is a ribosomes, cistern, intermembranes, intermembrane space, outer membranes and DNA we can be observed in mitochondria. So this is structure of mitochondria. So mitochondrions are known as the powerhouse of the cell. It is known as the powerhouse of the cell. And they are present in eukaryotic cells but absent in prokaryotic cells. Mitochondria exist in variable shapes. It is double membranes organelle. Outer membrane is smooth and inner membrane from folds like structure called the cristia. And this cristia consists of F1 particles on its surface. The matrix inside the contains ribosomes, respiratory enzymes and circular DNA. Mitochondria generate the energy in the form of ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate. So in that is short question or MCQ. What is the full form of ATP? Then you give the answer adeno, T for tri, P for phosphate, adenosine triphosphate. That is why it is called powerhouse of the cell. Mitochondria have their own ribosomes and DNA. They can synthesize their own proteins and they are self-duplicating units. So they are regarded as semi-autonomous organelles. And also ATP generating chemical reactions. Now we discuss about the plastids. So here we can be observe the plastic, that is a small dark portion, that is a ribosomes. First outer layer, that is outer membranes, then after inner membranes, then after we can be observe stroma, that is aqueous fluid, thylakoids, that is lumen we can be observed, okay, that is inside of thylakoids. Then after intermembrane space, lamella, stack of thylakoids, it is known as granum, we can be observed, and this DNA we can be observed in plastid structure. The term plastid was given by the Haeckel in 1866. Plastid occurred in most plant cells and are absent in animal cell. So plastids we can be observed in plant cell only, while it is absent in animal cell. They are spherical or discolloid in shape and are enclosed in double membranes inside a plastid. To the finite region are clearly visible grana and stroma. Grana are stack of membranes, bounded, flattened, discoid sacs containing the molecule of chlorophyll. Stroma is homogeneous matrix in which grana are embedded. Plastid contain their own DNA and ribosomes, that is, they have their own protein synthesis machinery. They are also self-replicating organelles. On the basis of color, plastids are the following three types. One is chloroplast, that is green color plastid containing chlorophyll. Lysoplast, colorless plastids, and chromoplast, it is colored plastid, that is except green color. Chloroplasts are photosynthetic organelles and the chlorophyll present in them traps solar energy for the purpose of synthesizing food for the plant. So chloroplasts are the kitchen of the cell. Lysoplasts help in storing food products like starch, protein and lipids. Chromoplast provides color to flower, which turns attract insects for the pollination. Now we can observe that is vacuole, last portion of this topic, vacuole of the cell. Vacuoles are fluid filled or solid filled and membranes bound spaces in the cytoplasm. Vacuoles are small size in animal cell, while plant cells have very large vacuoles. The vacuoles is bounded by a membrane called tonoplast. The vacuole is filled with the cell sap, which is watery solution rich in sugar, amino acids, proteins. Then after minerals and metabolic wastes, we can be observed in vacuoles. Vacuoles are meant for the storage of food, water and other substances. Vacuoles help to maintain the osmotic pressure in one cell. Vacuoles provide turgidity and rigidity of the plant cell. So here we can be finish this chapter.